I always knew that I would be successful, and now that I am here, I'm excited to share the exact pathway I took of going from healthcare worker to millionaire business owner. I started out my career in healthcare since my Haitian immigrant parents insisted on me pursuing a career in the field. Any of you out there born to immigrant parents can probably relate to the insistence on becoming a doctor. In this video, I'm going to lay out the blueprint that worked for me so that you're able to replicate what I did. I'm going to lay out the necessary education, the professions that you could pursue, businesses, and investments that you should make so you are armed with everything you need to create wealth from health. This channel is my happy place where I talk about global living and share business hacks that make it all possible. My name is Carl Pierre, and this is ENTP Life. Before we get started, please take the time out to help me out by liking this video and sharing it with anybody that you know can benefit from it. And of course, if you subscribe to the channel, you will get more content just like this. Sharing content is probably the best way to give back to the channel, as it signals to the YouTube algorithm that this is extraordinary content worth sharing with others. So please do so, and thank you very much for that. The first step of moving from healthcare worker to millionaire is establishing a career in healthcare. There are more professions in healthcare than just being a nurse or a doctor that can be secured in 1 to 4 year programs. In college, I studied being an X-ray technologist, and I specialized in CAT scan and MRI. In my college, it was a 5-year program, but while I was doing my clinicals, I realized that there were hospital-based program and community college level programs that were doing this training in 2 years. At the time, I was making anywhere from $60,000 to about $110,000 a year in these respective fields. Granted, I was working more than one job, but I believe the range was about $60,000 to $85,000. Of course, over the years, wages have gone up, so being an X-ray tech is one of those paths that you could take to getting into healthcare, earning a solid living that will allow you to build wealth down the line. If you're looking for something that takes a little less time, there's the licensed practical nurse or the LVN track, which is about a year to a year and a half's time, and you are on your pathway actually to become an RN. An LVN or LPN works typically in a skilled nursing facility doing medication pass. They can do a lot of treatments. One thing that they can't do is assess patients, and that's something that's reserved for the RNs. So if you're thinking about going into healthcare and you want to go just a little bit above the level that I'm about to talk to next, LVN or LPN is a good idea. If you're looking for something that's going to take you 1 year or less and you want to get into healthcare, there's a few different options and a few different paths that you could take. One of these paths is to become a certified nurse's aide, and they make anywhere from about $30,000 to, I would say, roughly $50,000 a year on a full-time job. You could also pursue becoming a medical assistant or a medical billing and coding specialist, and those professions could also be done in less than a year's time. Outside of those tracks, there are also other 4-year tracks like becoming a radiation therapist, a radiation dosimetrist, and you could pursue maybe nuclear medicine technology where you're doing imaging from the inside out. It's kind of a cool field. It's something that people don't really know about, but it's something that you could pursue. There's also careers in sonography, surgical tech. The field is pretty much wide open, and there's a lot of ways for you to get into it and find a job that not only pays you a decent wage, but also provides you with pretty good benefits, paid time off, and puts you on the right track to figure out where you could go next and build wealth from this profession. The next step is to work a lot. Learn more about the mechanics of the industry and save money. In this phase, it's important to keep expenses low and not fall into the trap of keeping up with the Joneses. When possible, shadow management in your workplace whenever you can. There's a lot to be learned. The reason why I say it's really important to take some time out to track management within your facility is that you get to learn a little bit more about the economics of healthcare when you do so. More often than not, the managers are tasked with managing things like the pay time off of employees, the department budget, as well as communication between the C-suite and the department itself. This is something that a lot of people miss out on because they look at their managers and supervisors as people that are there to get them in trouble, when in reality, those people are there to run a department. And if you learn to manage a business where there's friendliness and there is achieving the goals at hand, then you will start to understand why managers take the position that they do. They are committed to the success of the organization, not so much to being liked. The next steps I took were done simultaneously. I started buying assets and building a business at the same time. First, let's talk about why you should be building a business and how I did it. Working a job, you can only make as much money as you have time to work. Every job is kind of capped by a salary or a bonus range, and you're only going to be able to achieve as much as you can during a shift or through manual hours of hammering the phone and closing deals. With a business, you have the potential to build something that is able to generate way more money than your time as an individual will allow you. And you do so by leveraging other people's time and selling products and services in mass. In healthcare, the businesses that I decided to go into were healthcare staffing and home healthcare, and both have done very well for me and allowed me to learn so much about what it's like to manage people, manage businesses, and more importantly, what to do with profits. Just last year, I launched a program called Passive Workforce, where I teach exactly how you could go about starting a healthcare staffing firm. This could be a nursing agency, this could be an x-ray tech agency, this could be any agency that is attempting to fill staffing vacancies within hospitals, nursing homes, home care agencies, and so on. If you want more information on how you can get into that program, just check out entplife.com, where it covers the courses. You could pay as little as $97 a month or pay $2,000 for a more comprehensive training that includes one-on-one mentoring time. That pricing structure is going to change because my time and focus has changed a bit. So the time to act on the old pricing is now, because the pricing is certainly going up. Another benefit of building a business is the extra money that it's potentially going to whip off. The money that comes out of your business is probably going to be either a fraction of what you're making at your regular job, or is going to be much more than you make at your regular job. If it's a side hustle type of business where you're just looking to make a few extra dollars, that extra money can be invested. However, if you run your business properly and you're really thinking about scale and growth, that business is going to whip off way more money than you've ever made in your regular career, and is going to put you in a pretty unique situation. What most people tend to do with this extra cash is buy a bunch of gadgets, things for themselves, bigger house, nicer car. That's all a mistake. What you're supposed to do with the profits that come from your business is reinvest it either into your business's growth or into additional assets like real estate or buying other businesses. While building the business, I also was in a position to invest in real estate, starting with college rentals and homes with 1 to 4 units. You don't have to be a massive flipper to get started. You just need to be able to analyze a property and be in a financial position to buy. When investing in assets, it's all about buying the right deal. Deals that have the potential to make money today and also appreciate over time. Whenever you're looking at an investment, you really need to look at, what is this asset worth today? Based on comparable sales, if it's real estate, based on comparable sales, even if you're buying a business, you have to look at all of these things to say, am I paying the right price for this business? The next thing that you need to do is look at, how much money does this spin off? Whether you're buying stocks or real estate, if you're buying stocks that spit off a dividend, you can sit there and say, well, for my $100,000 investment in dividends, based on the dividend history, how much money is this $100,000 investment into Microsoft going to pay me as far as dividends are concerned? Is it going to pay me $5,000 a year in dividends? Is it going to pay me $10,000 a year? Is it only going to pay me $2,000, right? So that's the difference between 2 and 10%. You're going to want to know what that is, because the asset has its value, the stock itself, and the company is going to be generating some sort of profit for you in the form of dividends. Smart investments are going to help you build your net worth and help you get closer to millionaire status and into millionaire status. As the asset values increase, and as those assets are spitting you off cash, you could take the cash that the asset's spitting off and buy more assets while the market grows your assets, giving them more and more value. Remember, to become a millionaire, all you really need is for your assets, meaning the things that you buy, for their value minus the liabilities and the debt on those assets to be greater than $1 million. So if you own $3 million worth of real estate, but that real estate only has $200,000 of mortgages on it, you officially are in the millionaire bracket. Your net worth is over $1 million. And when you start looking at money and investments in this way, what you're going to come to realize is that it doesn't matter how much cash you really have. Obviously, having a lot of cash is good, but all of these assets are going to make you more creditworthy, are going to strengthen your personal balance sheet, are going to strengthen your personal financials. And then once you start to learn the game in this way, you start to realize that you're going to be putting your money into assets that make sense, assets that gain value over time, spin off cash, and don't lose value with time. And you'll see that over time, your net worth will go up. By taking these steps, you too will accumulate enough assets that you will hit higher and higher levels of wealth. This isn't a race, but a tried and tested methodology that confirms slow and steady is the way. Occasionally, there will be huge opportunities when it's time to be super aggressive. But if you're constantly learning and investing, you can move into millionaire status without having to do anything too risky. I'm thinking about doing a formal webinar where this topic is covered in greater detail with opportunities for real-time questions and answers. If you're interested in a webinar like this, comment "We need wealth" right in the comment section below so I know what the demand is and if it makes sense to organize it. Thanks again for joining me here at ENTP Life. Like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you know that's trying to increase their net worth. Until the next one, take care.